Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so with all the chaos that has happened last night, or by the time you're watching this, it happened last night. For me, it happened just about an hour ago. The chaos is starting to wind down just a little bit, but Twitter is still kind of going crazy. And by the way, this is an all-time Twitter moment for NBA fans. Like, I did not know how to react because one, I thought it was fake. I wanted to give it about 20 minutes. And then the more the tweets started to reel in and the reports started to reel in, the more and more I started to realize that this is not fake. So for those who do not know, Luka Doncic was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And for those who do not know, as you can tell by the artwork on this side of my office, I am a diehard Laker fan. Diehard Laker fan. Been a Laker fan before LeBron, will be a Laker fan after LeBron. And as a Laker fan, one of my biggest concerns were we are going to be in a pretty bad spot once LeBron retires, like right outside of Chicago Bulls' bad spot. But me being the spoiled Lakers fan that I am, Luka Doncic just falls in our lap. And I just want to say, I like being the spoiled NBA fan. I like it. We start to slow down on Kobe Bryant. Here comes LeBron James. We start to slow down on LeBron James. Here comes Luka Doncic. And there's a 14-year-old right now who doesn't know he's about to be the next Laker great. He'll fall in our laps once Luka Doncic slows down. So, hate it, love it, I don't care. I love being a spoiled Laker fan. And this is what I get for choosing Kobe Bryant to be my favorite player of all time, one. Choosing to be a fan of the franchise that my favorite player played on, two. And sticking through this team when Steve Blake and Robert Satre were getting rotation minutes, when Wesley Johnson and Nick Young were the promising players on the team, this is the reward I get. Anyway, I started recording this video saying that I was going to put my fandom aside and be an actual basketball analyst and talk about this situation because this is probably the most shocking trade in sports history, or at least my sports history. As long as I've been watching and being a full fan of basketball and football, because once again, I still watch football as much as I watch the NBA, it's just I only chose one sport to cover when I started YouTube. So in my entire sports life, I have never seen a trade this shocking and this big. Luka Doncic is on a trajectory. I'm still shocked I can't even talk. Luka Doncic is on a trajectory to be one of the greatest offensive players the league has ever seen. He is such an offensive floor raiser to the point where you are confident that this team is going to be contending for the next 10 seasons. And I saw Kendrick Perkins say that the Mavericks won the trade. We're going to talk about that later, but I'm not going to lie. Perk, I like you, bro. I really do. But it's like, I don't even think you believe that. And it's so funny because I was preparing a video to talk about Paolo Banchero and how he's been struggling as of late. And I get a phone call and they say, hey, man, Luka Doncic is getting traded to the Lakers. Look at Twitter. I'm watching Janky Rondo on stream and he's screaming. He's screaming like, what happened? And if you watch Janky Rondo, he's an NFL guy. You know, he's not a basketball guy. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really trust his sources as much. Let me go look at my sources. And we get to how I started the video. The tweets start rolling in. The Photoshop start rolling in. I turn on ESPN. I still said, I'm not going to believe this trade until I see Shams on video talking about it. Hell, I'm still not going to believe this trade until I see Luka Doncic bringing the ball up the floor in a Lakers uniform. I just burped, but we move. So now that it took me 4 minutes to talk about some of my emotions in this video, because once again, I couldn't do that in the video I dropped. I was speechless for about a half hour. Like, as a guy who just got a franchise-altering player, I was speechless. Like, I did not know what to say. I didn't know whether to be excited or be concerned. I truly did not believe what I was looking at. And as I'm watching people react to these type of to this trade, I start to see like I'm not the only one who really thinks that this shit was not real. And even when more people started to confirm, people still don't believe that this shit is real. And I think it's going to take these guys playing in their jerseys and playing on the floor with each other for people to believe it. And I know damn sure that's what it's going to take for me. And for all the diehard NBA fans who are asleep right now, I feel so bad for you. You just missed probably one of the most shocking moments in NBA history. Like, for me, this is just as this is more shocking than KD going to the Warriors. Like, that was the most shocking moment in NBA history for me, for what I can remember, because I was not around when Shaq left the Lakers, even though people kind of, you could have put that one together. This is something I did not see coming. If you told me at the start of the season, in February, when people are gearing up for the Super Bowl that's coming in a week, Luka Doncic would be wearing purple and gold, I wouldn't believe you. And I'm not one of those guys who just I'm like, you know what, bro, the Lakers need talent. We're in talks to go get Kawhi. We're in talks to go get KD. We're in talks to go get Michael fucking Jordan. I'm not one of those guys. I did not think in any capacity that Luka Doncic was going to be a Los Angeles Laker. I had no clue. So now that I've talked about how shocked I really was, and I'm sure you've heard 1,000 stories on how shocked people are, I want to talk about the basketball standpoint of it. So for the people that don't know, the full trade details are the Lakers are going to receive Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris, while the Dallas Mavericks they receive Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick, and the Utah Jazz receive Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 second-round pick from the Clippers, and a 2025 second-round pick from the Dallas Mavericks. So now we're going to be talking about each team and where I think they go from here. First thing with the Utah Jazz, we're just going to get them out the way real fast. Utah, you guys get a young guard, and Jalen Hood-Schifino is going to be very interesting to see him get minutes. I'm going to be following his career very closely because I do think he was an intriguing prospect. Just don't think I love the fit with him on the Lakers. And you also get to say you were a part of the most shocking trade in NBA history. Now let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. And boy, Dallas fans, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. I am sorry. I am really sorry. I am really sorry. It's like Lakers fans get everything. We get everything. We want Luka Doncic. We're going to get Luka Doncic. We want LeBron James. We're going to get LeBron James. I even saw some videos of Kevin Durant, reacting to the trade mid-game as they're getting their asses spanked by the Portland Trailblazers. It's a really shocking moment in the NBA. Joel Embiid reacted, Tyrese Maxey, even Patrick fucking Mahomes reacted. He's supposed to be getting ready for the Super Bowl, but he reacted to this. He reacted to this trade. You would think the quarterback for the team that's trying to make NFL history wouldn't be worried about a trade in the NBA, but no. This is what this trade has done to the world. And if I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm not supporting this franchise. I just don't find, I can't seem to find a possible outcome where this makes sense. You cannot spend 40 hours straight convincing me of why this move makes sense. Unless Luka Doncic walked right up to Mark Cuban and said, look, I want to be traded. I don't want the league to know I'm about to be traded. And I want to be traded to LA, and I'm not getting Let's try that again. I think the only way that this makes sense is if Luka walked up to Mark Cuban and says, I want to be traded. I don't want the league to know I'm about to get traded. And I want to be traded to the Lakers. If I'm traded to any other team, I will not re-sign with them. And even then, if I'm the Rockets and Luka flat out says, look, I'm not going to re-sign with you. I'm going to LA. I'm still trading for Luka. That's what doesn't make sense. So we've probably been through a lot of conspiracy theories over the past few hours on why the Dallas Mavericks would make a move like this. So I'm just going to go through a few of them real fast. A lot of people are saying there has to be some type of injury that Luka has that we don't know about. If that is the case, I don't think you go trade for a guy like Anthony Davis, who has had some injury concerns over the past few seasons. Even though the past few seasons he's been relatively healthy, but he has had a stretch where he's looked like he just couldn't hold up on the floor. And even then, like, if you're concerned that Luka has some type of injury history that we don't know about, that's medical. That stuff has to be signed off. So that's something that the rest of the league would know about. So Luka Doncic would be on the market for a while before he gets traded. And it upsets me even more because this is probably the best team you could have put around Luka. I mean, obviously they could get better in some type of assets, but in a realistic manner, you're not going to get a much better team around Luka. You've built a top 10 caliber defense with a guy like Luka Doncic, who is not a plus defender at all. You have the big man rotations. You now have the wings. You went out and grabbed guys like Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Klay Thompson in the offseason. Kyrie Irving is such a phenomenal basketball player playing next to Luka Doncic, and their friendship that they've built over the season and a half that they've had together, almost 2 seasons now, to where even if Luka says, I want to be traded, it's not happening till the offseason. I would still want to see what this team fully healthy can do in the playoffs. So even if Luka says to my face, John, I want to be traded. Well, buddy, it's not happening this season. So I've seen people say young, 25-year-old superstar caliber type of player, we're going to trade him to the biggest market in the NBA because our ratings have been down. Even then, Luka Doncic being traded, period, is going to create some type of buzz. I don't care if Luka Doncic was traded to the goddamn Charlotte Hornets. It doesn't matter what team Luka was traded to. It still would have created this level of shock. But the fact that it is the Lakers, it does throw a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? It does throw, it puts a smile on my face because the only reason I'm up is because I got to take my grandparents to the airport. But as for the Dallas Mavericks team as currently constructed, they are the better team than the Lakers on paper. So that's why I believe some of the people have been saying the Dallas Mavericks won this trade. I still don't believe the Dallas Mavericks won this trade because in the end of the day, yes, you are better than the Lakers, but you did get worse. You got significantly worse. This was a team that had championship aspirations with Luka Doncic being a top 5 player in the NBA. He was going to be able to lead you to those championship aspirations. But now you have no Luka. You have no offensive creator on the perimeter. And now it's like over the next few years, you're going to have to bank on AD and Kyrie, who are both 30 plus, and you have no draft capital. So I still really, really, really struggle to believe where this move is going to show. And to be quite frank, because now that Luka's here, the Lakers are obviously looked at to be contenders over the next few years. Don't think they're contenders right now, but over the next few years, they're going to be contenders. But for the next 10 years, it does not matter. It does not matter if the Lakers don't get out of the second round. They won this trade. They won this trade. I don't care if Luka does not win a championship throughout his entire career. The Lakers won this trade. The Lakers won this trade. With how Luka Doncic is playing right now, there is no world where you don't make this move. I would have gave them LeBron and AD for Luka. You can have LeBron, AD, and you can have all the celebrities that be front row. You can have all of it. But where I think Dallas just truly missed the mark is you could have gotten anything you wanted for Luka. I truly think there are about 5 players in the NBA who wouldn't have. There are about 5 players in the NBA who teams wouldn't move for Luka. That's Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, SGA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and probably Jason Tatum. The Boston Celtics just won an NBA championship. The Denver Nuggets just won an NBA championship. Victor Wembanyama is 21 years old, and he's a top 10 player. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a better player than Luka, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to pair Luka and Dame together. And who was my last one? SGA is around the same age as Luka Doncic, and the Thunder have the better team. But other than those 5 players, even then, if I'm the Spurs, hey, Dallas, you guys can have Stephon Castle, You can have Devin Vassell, and you can have every first round pick we own until 2035. Take it. If I'm Houston, you can have Amen, you can have Jalen Green, you can have every first round pick we own until 2035. If I'm OKC, you can have J-Dub, you can have Nikola Topic, you can have Cason Wallace, and you can have every first round pick we own till 2035. I think you guys understand where I'm getting at here. If I'm Detroit, you can have Cade, you can have Jalen Duren, you can have every first round pick we own till 2035. So that's where it puzzles me the most, because this AD and Max Christie and a 2029 first round pick, I don't necessarily believe that this is one of the best offers they could have gotten. If I really sat back and thought about it, I can think of maybe 7 to 8 teams that could have given you guys a better offer for Luka Doncic. And I get that they're still trying to be competitive because this is a championship winning team. Not a championship winning team, but a championship caliber team. But I think all of us thought if Luka goes, this is a hard reset. It's a hard reset. I just don't see getting off of a 25-year-old with this much upside and that's shown you so much in his years in the NBA and not trying to restart. Because your championship window goes as long as Luka does. And now Luka's not here. So what are we going to do about that? Okay, so as for the Los Angeles Lakers, because I'm going to try and wrap this up real fast. The Lakers, they are not a good team right now. They are not a good team right now. They're not a good team, but they're also not a team where it's like they're going to fall out of the playoffs. Yes, Anthony Davis was a really key factor for what the Lakers are trying to do, and now we possibly have one of the worst front court rooms in the NBA. But there are a lot of centers on the market to where I'm not necessarily upset with the Lakers making this move. I'm not upset about the Lakers making this move at all. I'm actually extremely happy. But there are guys like Jakob Poeltl on the market that you can go get. Robert Williams is on the market. Apparently, you can go get him. I think Nicholas Claxton is on the market. You can go get him. Robert Williams is on the market. You can go get him. Nikola Vucevic, you can go get him. Miles Turner, you can go get him. To where I think LeBron can give this 2 more years, and that's a window for him to win 1 more championship. And it makes it so much better because now LeBron does not have to worry about being a playmaker. LeBron can be a roller. He could be a roller. That's all he needs to do. LeBron and Luka's 2-man game is going to be marvelous. It's going to be fantastic. This is going to be one of the best 2-man games we have seen in basketball. I don't think there has ever been a roller in a pick and roll that can make a decision like that, like LeBron James can. And now you're telling me a lot of the things that he does on the perimeter are going to be taken off of his shoulders and put onto an offensive savant of the basketball of Luka Doncic? That's going to be dangerous. But as currently constructed, there are some major holes in this Los Angeles Lakers team. The bench is still not the best, and our front court issues are probably the worst in the league. But once again, there are so many big men on the market right now, and the trade deadline is in 5 days. You have 5 days to build a competent team so you guys can go right now. Because once again, you have no picks. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pull up Phoenix Suns. Like, hey, who has a lot of picks? OKC. How bad do you guys want this 2031? Well, I'm not going to lie. Even then, that 2031 first round pick has lost all its value. Like all the value that 2031 pick just had, it's gone now. It's gone now. In 2031, Luka's going to be 31. Luka's going to be 31 in 2031. He's still going to be an offensive superstar. So I think that pick has lost all its value. So you're probably just going to use that to go get somebody. And then you'll have Luka Doncic and you'll try to build the best caliber roster around him year in and year out to where we can go win a championship. But even then, once again, I told you guys at the start of the video, I am a Laker fan and a Laker fan first. I'm going to be here after LeBron and I was here before him. If LeBron James wants to leave and there's a good enough offer on the table, goodbye. Goodbye. And a lot of people were saying LeBron James was blindsided by this move. And I don't necessarily think you need LeBron James' go-ahead to make this move. If LeBron James has a problem with this move, he can go too. I'm not second-guessing bringing in Luka Doncic because LeBron James has an issue with it. But I do think a lot of teams are not going to want to trade with the Lakers after this. I'm sorry. I just don't think teams are going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. Like, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think trade negotiations are going to be a lot tougher for the Lakers now that they have Luka Doncic, and somehow Luka Doncic just fell in the Lakers' lap, and the entire NBA had no clue, and nobody had a hat in the race for Luka Doncic. I think a lot of teams are going to be very jealous, and they're probably not going to win and make a lot of moves with the Lakers. So that's going to be tough to deal with, but we have a superstar, and we are going to be in championship contention for the next 10 years. So I'm very excited about that. These are obviously not my full thoughts. Like, these aren't my full thoughts. As you can tell, it's 2 a.m. I still haven't slept on this yet. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to have this video like this, me sitting and talking. I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just going to put it out. And I'll probably see you guys again on Monday to talk about the trade even more and really get down to some X's and O's and how it works in the basketball world and where we see the Lakers. But this is just my first thoughts, and a lot of things have been going through my head over the past 2 hours. So if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace.